What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another new episode of the Last Wave Podcast. We deal with topics such as ghosts, UFOs, cryptids, conspiracies, everything. Anything and everything under the paranormal umbrella, we basically cover it. I am joined again here today with the part-time co-host, Buster.
Buster.
We're going to go over something that we both really kind of enjoy and really get a kick out of, and that's more conspiracy stuff. So this is going to be in the rabbit hole section of the channel, and today we're going over the Denver International Airport. Yeah. Now I know what you're thinking, like why should people care about an airport? Well, I'm here to tell you why. If you don't know about this place, then you really need to. So on February 28th, 1995, the Denver International Airport opened its doors and its runways to the general public after falling over a year behind schedule and spending $2 billion more than its budget of $4.5 billion, which is already seems like I mean, I don't build airports, Buster, but that seems like a chunk. $4.5 billion for an airport. But not only did it take up more money and time than it was supposed to, it is still today the largest airport in the U.S., sitting at 53 square miles, longest public runway in America at 3 miles. The operational airport in Denver at that time was deemed too small and too troublesome, so the new aerial hub was created. There's a lot that we're going to probably go into and probably dive into. There's a lot conspiracy researchers don't know about this building. I mean, you've seen some of the murals and some of the walls, Buster.
Oh yes, and what's extremely interesting that it would just so happen to open in 1995 is on March 19th, 1994, Denver International Airport dedication, the capstone. Yeah. So this time capsule beneath this stone contains messages and memorabilia to the people of Colorado in 2094. And this happened March 19th, 94.
So that was basically the beginning of the airport. So that's pretty crazy. The airport actually has a series of strange markings on its floors that some people believe symbolize a new strain of hepatitis that could be used in biological warfare.
Now, what is this exactly?
This is some of the symbols that are just on the floor. I mean, so it's not just the murals and stuff and the craziness, but apparently some of these murals are from the Navajo language or are pulled from periodic table of elements. So I have no idea why why they included that, why they thought to, and actually the that capstone. Supposedly, it does include a credit card, a Colorado flag, and DIA opening day newspapers, Denver International Airport, among many other things. And it is set to be open in 2094. The symbols on the marker are associated with the Freemasons, a charitable organization that is often subject to their own conspiracy theories. I think we all know that. The marker for the capstone, I don't know if you saw this on what you were looking at, Buster, but it actually mentions the New World Airport Commission, an organization that doesn't actually exist. So yeah, it was
quotation.
Yeah, apparently it doesn't exist, at least on paper.
And what is it called?
The New World Airport Commission.
New World Airport. Yeah.
And that's what's on the capstone.
That's what's on the capstone.
But it apparently appears to be taking credit for building the entire airport. However, the contributors listed as part of the so-called NWAC, including an architecture firm and a metal company, do exist, and they just make buildings and metals. I mean,
it's just too close to New World Order.
Yeah, New World Airport Commission. It's like you're not even trying.
For this, there's got to be something more to this. I mean, because if you look at these things on the wall, I mean, it's not even. I mean, it's
so basically what we're looking at right now is
#Den files.
#Den files. It's like they've accepted the fact that there's a conspiracy. It's almost like an Area 51 thing. Like they know it's a conspiracy.
And everything that we've ever been told or thought about Area 51 is true.
Yeah.
And it says straight up right here, what's happening behind this wall? A, gargoyle breeding grounds. B, A top secret Freemason meeting.
It's probably true.
C, a improved airport experience.
It's probably
all
B.
three of them. And
So
then
those are actually like what we're looking at. Sorry, but I'll try to include some of these in the comments and the show notes. But these are actual like billboards, like small billboards that they have up
as
on
you
the
walk
walls.
by.
Yeah, these aren't even the main murals. This is something that like we accept. We have conspiracies, and we're gonna put this.
Now, here's another one. This is interesting. It says, "What are we doing?" It says, A, adding amazing new restaurants and bars. B, building an Illuminati headquarters. C, remodeling the lizard people's lair.
Well, it's either B or C. It's probably not restaurants and bars.
I mean, that's the sad part. It's like it's so believable now.
Yeah.
And then what is this? Another one. What are we creating? A, more space for interesting artwork. B, a better airport experience. C, zombie cat lairs. The what?
I mean, what? I mean, and these are like I said, these are billboards that are like put up on blocked walls, like behind the walls. They're building new stuff, kind of like you would see anywhere. Apparently, even the underground automated baggage system, it cost a whole lot of money, and then never actually worked. The system, which failed pretty spectacularly, yeah, when it was first tested, never got better. And that was one of the reasons for the Denver International's delayed opening. By 2005, most of the airport's concourses had abandoned it totally, making both its bloated price and long delays feel like even more of a failure.
Wow.
So it could be a very elaborate way to cover up tunnels. You have all the. I mean, it's an underground baggage system.
Yeah, it's just writing it off as something else.
Yeah, it's a good way to cover up digging. I mean, for sure. That's definitely a possibility. Um, One of the above ground things that's actually weird is the shape of the runways. Now, one part of the overall conspiracy is that the original airport was fine for the whole time being, but the runways
What?
at the airport were not well laid out.
Okay, you were just talking about the underground layer, right?
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, so it says right here, with a picture of an alien right there,
Okay.
doing this, says, yes, Den's got some secrets. Since the airport's opening in 1995, there have been endless rumors and theories. People say our underground tunnels lead to secret meeting facilities for our world's elite. Our blue horse is thought to be cursed. Some believe we are connected to the New World Order, the Freemasons, and are home to the lizard people.
Well, at least they're accepting who they are, because that is crazy that they would just post those.
I'll say, because, like, people are more easier to accept something that is just obvious.
Yeah, it's like hiding. It's hiding in plain sight. So apparently these runways. Now the original runways at the old airport were too close together for safe landing in bad weather, which in that area, 150 days a year is pretty much bad weather. Denver International doesn't have the same problem, but it does have something more nefarious. Apparently, the shape of the runways looks like a swastika from the air. Um, Taken on its own, such a shape could be brushed off as being just a really terrible piece of planning, but combined with everything else, it all looks very odd indeed.
Yeah, it kind of does look like a swastika, don't it?
Oh, it does. This is so helpful having a co-host. We can just pull up pictures and references.
Anytime.
Continuing above ground, though, the strangest things, in my opinion, are the horse, like you mentioned a minute ago, and the murals. The mascot for the airport, a massive Mustang statue, 9,000 pounds, with red eyes, and it has killed one person.
It has killed one person.
It has killed one person, and it was the man who created it. Apparently, a piece of the head fell off and severed an artery in his leg when it hit him. I mean, honestly, you can't make
They
that
say
up.
that it is cursed.
Yeah,
It is cursed.
They even say that it's cursed. The biggest contention of visuals for conspiracy theorists are, of course, the murals, which most researchers have seen. And I'll put some photos of those up on the Facebook page. And they take up wide areas of the wall space in the baggage claim. They might have some nice names, like they're called the Children of the World Dream of Peace. And In Peace and Harmony with Nature is the name of those murals you looked at.
That is interesting.
They don't seem very peaceful. But their actual content is again, it's very terrifying. One of them shows a gas masked soldier stalking children with guns. Animals are dead and kept in glass. There's children in glass graves. The entire world behind the people looks to be destroyed.
We're on fire.
Yeah, we're on fire. The images are thought to be prophetic by some researchers. Even the clearly bad guy soldiers in the painting are wearing gas masks that actually damn near exactly match the current UN peacekeeper masks. A side conspiracy for you is that the UN is expected to be the overall enemy group if the world goes to crap. So that's kind of interesting that they're, prominently displayed on these murals.
Oh, yeah.
And they're expected to be the army of the end time, so to speak. But the main theme here is that the Denver International is suspected to be home to a secret bunker of some type, or as you stated, lizard people, or the Illuminati, or anything.
I mean,
Or the
straight
home,
up, it came out and said it.
yeah, or the home for the New World Order. And any of the weird things about the airport on their own, one little thing here or there may be nothing. But all of it combined makes for an extremely compelling story. A lot of strange architecture and symbology is literally not needed. It has to be put there on purpose. It just has to be. Um, One of the things I saw, I don't know if you saw a picture of it while you were searching, but there's like a gargoyle inside of
Yes.
a suitcase, and that's supposed to be like a suitcase nuke. I don't know why you would create that art or put it there, but you know,
What?
yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this question?
This seems so nefarious and like just it's too perfect to not mean anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been a believer of coincidence, but that's just me being as in tune as I am. I like to believe.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there's always more to it than meets the eye, and you should never believe anything you hear, and you should only believe half of what you see.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just crazy. Again, one or two of the items, might not be so crazy, but to do all of them in the same place. I mean, no one in the right mind would look at a painting.
This is a theme.
Yeah, it's definitely a theme. I mean, but nobody's gonna look at any of those paintings and be like, yes, images of burning buildings and fleeing children is exactly what we need to be seeing.
Right here, right now.
I mean, it is possible that this project and some others just cost too much, so they had to come out and say that money has been misplaced, like they did with the September 10th, the day before 9/11.
We're like, oh yeah, it just so happens that all this money just disappeared.
Yeah, we lost track of like
and then all of a
$2
sudden,
trillion.
4,000 people.
Yeah. So I mean, it could certainly be one of those black budget projects. Again, the whole thing with the underground baggage system they never even fixed, but they dug out all that space for it. Um, it is a really scary thought when you start to tie all that stuff together. Um, as a person who seeks the truth and digs through reports and stories pretty much daily, I know there's one thing about conspiracy theorists. And you could probably vouch for this, we seem to have a hope, like an actual hope in humanity, like more than most people. I say that because we know that has to be a few real evil people in the world doing these things, and we hope that regular people won't do these things.
But you got to think, it's like some people are crazy enough to do these things, and some people could be crazy enough to retaliate.
Yeah. So I mean, they're and those pictures you were pulling up, Buster, those are actually new. Like I haven't seen those, so
Oh yeah. I mean, it's funny that we'd be talking about artwork. And
yeah.
Like just recently we've uncovered all this underground pedophilia that's been happening around the world and stuff throughout the elite and the rich people and the politicians and anyone that you've probably ever heard their name, they're probably involved in some of it.
Yeah, and I mean,
That's just how it is.
they're all about using secret code words and symbols and like the pizza and the hot dogs.
They're a part of the club.
Stuff. Yeah,
they're a part of the club, and it's like you sell your soul, you live forever in this 3D hologram. If you essentially break it down to its molecular level, it really all is just a matrix. We're all just experiencing a field of electromagnetic radioactive phenomena.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, when you kind of break it down, I mean, that's really what it is. Where if you break it down to just the cellular level, we're just cells vibrating in a cluster.
How you say? We're all just dust in the wind.
Yeah, we're literally just dust particles in the wind.
Hey.
But that, I mean, you got anything to add to that? That's all of the show notes I had. I mean, it's a crazy
Like
story.
we were saying, the pedophilia artwork that is so easily overlooked, but now that all of a sudden it's been coming to light. One thing I'd like to add is I had recently discovered this pattern occurring in the Biltmore House.
Really?
Yes, and it really blew my mind, but it really doesn't surprise me either because I've been through there like many times. It's a beautiful place until I discovered what it really was. Like, for instance, I'll show you some pictures about it, but it's essentially there's a pool underneath, like an under house pool, and at first it looks all nice. There's flowers and stuff everywhere down there, but then you start thinking about it, like why is it in the basement?
Right.
And then I got to looking, and there was paintings, like this very bizarre paintings.
So that's interesting. 'Cause I definitely never heard anything about that. But I mean, that's one of the biggest names in North Carolina as far as opulent households. I mean, the Biltmore House is very famous, and if nobody knows what that is, it's just this huge mansion, huge property in Asheville. It's a tourist attraction at this point.
Oh God!
But it's a very famous
For instance,
famous house.
this is a picture of the underground pool.
Yeah. It looks. I mean, it's very.
It's not somewhere I'd want to swim.
No, it's very like it looks like you're swimming in like an old like
But like
tunnel.
in the old days, they used to slaughter the animals down there.
Yeah. That's what it
And
looks
then
like.
and get this. This right here is the artwork that was found.
Basically, the picture, since nobody can see the picture, that's one of the artworks.
Yes.
That's there.
Yes, it was.
That looks like some of that Pizzagate stuff.
Yeah, and it gets worse.
Wow,
It gets
I'm gonna have to look into that. But it's basically a picture of looks like kids with their hands tied behind their backs, basically.
And then you can see that it looks like their hands and their butts and their feet look like they've been beaten or
That's
abused.
crazy.
And then this is the really effed up one.
We're all finding out about conspiracy live. We're finding out about this live together.
Yes, and this is what makes it really weird. We all, who Anderson Cooper is.
No, yeah.
Okay, well, you know who his mother is.
No.
His mother is Gloria Vanderbilt.
Oh. I think I did.
That's him, right? That's him right there.
Okay.
And at when his brother, something drove him to throw himself off of one of the top windows at the Biltmore House and kill himself.
Wow.
Something drove him to do that. And if you look at, you won't notice it.
Yeah.
But if you look in the background, woven into the tapestry, you are witnessing a ritual unto Moloch.
I was about to say that looks like
something. Two what looks like angels in robes.
Yeah.
And then that right there is Jesus getting burned.
What?
See?
You guys send me that picture so I can put it on the Facebook page. That's crazy. So we're gonna have to look into the Biltmore House a little bit more.
Yeah.
Apparently. All right. So I think that's gonna do it for Denver International. We're gonna dig into that a little bit more.
Just one more thing.
Sorry,
one more thing. Anderson Cooper, right?
Right.
You're telling him about? There is a painting that depicts him, like he was abused or something.
What?
Like.
That's ridiculous.
Cooper painting.
It's weird how you can go like a researcher is. I mean, I guess people are always finding new stuff, but I mean that one's in my own backyard.
Yeah, this is. I mean, there it is. Look.
Wow.
Is that not just bizarre?
Why do they have? We're gonna have to look into that. So I mean,
that's the original painting. I mean,
it looked like a little young Anderson, like silver hair, whatever, and all, or blondish hair. It's an emaciated child tied up in the pool.
In the pool.
Like that's That is crazy, Buster. I had
Crazy.
never seen those before, dude.
And it was my better half is the one that actually turned me on to it.
Well, yeah, send
And
me
I have
those.
straight up walked through that room before.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like most North Carolina kids, or at least a lot of them, field trip there. So I mean, because you know all the famous stuff like the at least the pool area, the paintings that like follow you with their eyes, and like the more famous stories there. But that's bizarre, dude. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, dude.
But
That's what we do.
but yeah, as far as the DIA and then now that, I think we're good on that for today. But Buster, thanks for joining me. It's so much easier and nicer to do this with a co-host. Uh, I feel like it's a little bit more fun, a little more free range. But definitely thank you for stopping by, and thanks everybody out there for listening. Offer a thank you.
Oh yes, of course. I appreciate you listening to us do our rabbit holes on things that everyone should at least know something about.
Yeah, at least a little bit. At least gotta have a little bit to know about this stuff. But that's gonna do it for us today. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Patreon.com. The blog, the Last Wave blog. We've got all kinds of cool stuff over there as well. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode.